And we're back, guys. I'm your host, Good Energy, Tennis in a Minute. We're going to take a look at Coco Gauff and Ajla Tomljanovic. This is going to be an amazing match, but really quick here, the fastest minute in tennis. Let's take a look, as I always bring you coverage via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Act. Yesterday's matches. Yulia Putintseva takes out Elizabeta. I felt that was a good win for Yulia. She really used her short ball effectively, and she made Elizabeta work for every point. And if you want to beat her, get her moving. I think Yulia did an amazing job there. Leola Janjan, who was playing good tennis. Overall, Priscilla Hahn is probably better between the lines, and I think she showed it yesterday. Good win for Priscilla Hahn. Barbora Krejcikova had an issue, lost and found, right, for about 10 minutes there with Victoria Mboku. Victoria's out, guys, so that's a bracket buster. We will not get that blockbuster matchup with Coco that I wanted to see. Ooh, unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Barbora wins. Petra Kvitova, and another great from France. Petra's from Czech Republic, but Caroline Garcia, who's from France, along with Diane Perry. Both of those ladies lose. Diane Perry just a little too fast, explosive. Diana Yastremka's out of there. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova pulled it together. A lot of power from the backhand. That was a key. Backhand, forehand on hard. I'm going to go with the backhand. Ludmilla takes out Yafan Wong. Madison Keys, one of the big upsets, eliminated by Renata Zarazoa, who just hasn't been moving well. She's wrapped up, but she got the job done. When that adrenaline starts flowing, you'd be surprised what you can do. Elisa Mertens back in the win column, takes out On. Taylor Townsend takes out Ruzic. That was a good win. Ava Jovic takes out Sasnovich. Along with Venus Williams, I don't know if it's time for Sasnovich to hang it up. I don't know. I watched some of that match. Tiebreak was very crazy. Sasnovich was up 3-love in the tiebreak. Then Ava wins the next 5 points. Then Sash wins the next 2 points. So pretty inconsistent. But Ava, despite the serve, she continues to show toughness to win points. Anna Kalinskaya takes out Nugolyu. That was a tough win there, but she got it through in 3. Lena Rybakina takes out Pereira. Look, one of my top teen prospects. She looks good, but I mean, that's a bad matchup. I mean, Lena Rybakina is the slam champion. So much power. We'll see. She'll be back. Buxa takes out Claire Liu. I'm not sure what's going on with Claire Liu, but and Katie Volynets as well. We're going to talk about her. But a lot of my Americans, I mean, look, the top-ranked Americans are all doing amazing. All right, we know that. The Cocos, the Pigulas, the Amanda Anisimova, Madison Keys, Navarro got the win the other day. Collins. So we have a lot of Americans, even in the top 50. Alicia Parks, tough match yesterday. But that bottom tail of the list, of prospects that were doing well. And Peyton Stearns did win, but she's not having a great season. Volynets is not having a great season. Kruger, what happened. Sloane's injured. So we have a lot to talk about in terms of American tennis. We'll get to that soon. But yeah, Rakimova takes out Caroline Garcia in 3. Yeah, that's her last U.S. Open slam. She said she just doesn't think she has it anymore. And losing to Kamila Rakimova, maybe Garcia's right. I personally thought if she plays a full schedule, she could be competitive, but she doesn't think so. Dasha takes out Gabi. Ann Lee takes out Sharampova. Ann Lee continues the hot streak. Finalist in Cleveland. Good job. The Greek goddess, finally, Maria takes out Maria, finally, right? She did last time as well, but it was tough and tricky. Elsa, the French woman, takes out Buskova. That's a shocker, but we're seeing a lot of those players from Mexico just run out of gas from Monterrey. Freck takes out Gibson. That was probably the numeric lock there. Bondar upsets Svitolina. Svitolina looks very thin these days. I don't know. She looks to be in form, but I don't know if the confidence is there right now. Peyton Stearns takes out Semastaza. That was a good win for Stearns. And Katie Volynets. So she loses to Samnez from Turkey, who I've said is a good shot maker. I don't think Katie's in her best form physically right now. She doesn't look to me to be in her best form physically. I'm sorry. That's what I think her issue is. She's a good ball striker, but I don't think she's moving well. She could be injured. She could be operating at 65%, but Katie doesn't appear to be physically at her best from what I've seen. We'll just be nice, right? Keep it that way. Venus Williams wins a set over Mukova, which was good, but I mean, I think Mukova turned it up in the third set, and we clearly saw that Venus, she just not going to win that match. I don't know if it's time for Venus. I don't know if it's time. It's her decision. She's one of the all-time greats, 23 total Grand Slams, but she's getting up there, and I think the big thing is her movement. I would like to see Venus at least play a double schedule, maybe play a year with doubles. I think that would help a lot of these events sell tickets, put more eyes on the game, especially from a doubles perspective. And I think Venus can cover clearly half of the court. That's just what I think. But singles-wise, she plays a full season. I mean, I think she'll be competitive. But if someone like Caroline Garcia or Petra Kvitova can walk away stating that they can't compete anymore, then I don't know. But who's anyone to tell Venus what to feel or think? I think Venus, she's one of the all-time greats. She knows she can still strike the ball, clearly. I just think her movement's hindered, and I think that's the only issue she has. So it's tough because what does she do? Does she train really hard and then risk an injury, and then that's it? I don't know. It's a tough situation because I don't think she can train at 100%. I think she probably trains. I've saw her practice and train, and I don't know if she's training at 100%. And if you can't train at 100%, it's something to think about. But I guess the question is, even a younger player like someone like a Ava Jovic, I think Venus could probably beat Jovic. So, I mean, I think she can compete because I think the powers are going to be a big issue. She has the power. It's just the movement, but I'm interested to see if she plays any more tournaments this season. She does have the exhibition, so I'm not counting the exhibition. That's going to be played with, I think she's teaming up with Taylor Fritz, if I'm not mistaken, towards the end of this year. But I would like to see her play another tournament at least. We will see. And on to Coco versus Ajla. Thank you guys for the love and support. Now, they played once, came last year at the Olympics. Coco won that in straight sets, and the bakery was open. The second set was brutal. Now, Ajla's ranked 79th on the world tour. Coco's now third. Ajla averages about 2 aces per match and 5 double faults. So you think Coco's 6.8 double faults is bad. Ajla's at around 5. So I don't think double faults, it's in terms of Coco having a horrible double fault day, I don't think it's going to really benefit Ajla because she's going to give them right back. Ajla gets about 65% of her first serves in play compared to only 60% from Coco. Ajla wins about 63% of her first serves, while Coco wins 70% of her first serves. That's going to be a big difference in this match. Ajla wins 43% of her second serves, and Coco's also winning about 43% of her second serve, which is a bad number for, players that double fault a lot. So she's got to get that second serve up at least over 50%, right? You want to limit your second serves, but you can't be losing more than 50% of them. Now, Ajla, she wins only about 56% of her service points. That concerns me because you're facing the best defensive player in the world on tour. I think Coco's going to have a field day. That alone tells me Coco's going to have a lot of opportunities to break, not given the fact that she's the best defensive player, but just looking at Ajla's inconsistency, in between the rallies. Their long rallies get ready for Coco to be running all over the court. However, I do feel that Ajla probably ups the ante sometimes in these rallies where she doesn't really have to, and that's where a lot of her mistakes happen, because she's a pretty consistent ball striker when she's just going with the flow. But when she plays a little bit more aggressive, the unforced errors add up, and we've seen the unforced errors in the past. They can get up there. While Coco wins about 59% of her service points, in 70% of her service games, while Ajla wins just a little over 50% of her service games. So that tells me right there that Coco's going to break multiple times, possibly a breadstick or a bagel like the last time they face each other. I think Coco gets past Ajla pretty comfortably as long as she doesn't get overly too aggressive, because she's not going to need to be. She's a younger player. She has the athletic edge. I think Ajla, even though her stamina is good, if Coco plays patient, eventually she'll break down in that department as well. So I think Coco wins, guys. Enjoy the match. Tennis in a minute. I'll be back.